Welcome to Hiking and History. Today we're back in West Virginia and are once again exploring the coal fields. Today we're in the northern part of West Virginia, in the Upper Potomac River coal fields, which brings us to the town of Thomas. Thomas is a small commercial town, and at one time a large portion of it was owned by the Davis Coal and Coke Company. As we explore, you'll also see a small part of the coal camp of Coketon, because it's nearby. So let's start our hike on the Blackwater Rail Trail. The discovery of coal in 1883 brought tremendous growth to this small mountain area. The town of Thomas was first platted in 1884 and was named after Thomas Davis, the brother of the West Virginia Senator Henry Gasaway Davis. Thomas's main street had an opera house, a saloon, and one of the first railway stations with electric lights. By 1915, over 2,000 people lived here. In 1883, the Davis brothers opened a mine near Thomas and were ready to start shipping coal when the railroad arrived. By 1892, the Davis Coal and Coke Company was one of the largest coal companies in the entire world and employed over 1,600 people. At its peak in 1915, there were 9 mines producing from these headquarters, and employment had grown to 3,000. The 1.5-mile stretch between Davis, Coketon, and Thomas was aglow with the fires from nearly 1,000 coke ovens. Directly behind me is the Davis Coal and Coke Company's hydroelectric dam, which supplied electric to the mine. Immigrants flocked to the mine for the jobs that it created. In 1916, Tucker County had more immigrants than any other county in West Virginia. 16% of its population was born outside of the United States. At one point, Thomas even had a newspaper published entirely in Italian. The Davis Coal and Coke Company even had to hire an interpreter that spoke 8 different languages to communicate with a workforce from 22 different countries. Behind me is the Davis Coal and Coke Company store. It had a huge impact on the lives of miners. Shopping here, they often had to use company script, and most of them lived in company houses. Not everyone was happy with the level of control the company had on their lives, and several strikes broke out. In 1894, the miners of Coketon and Thomas joined together to strike. They asked for higher pay, recognition of the United Mine Workers Association, and an end to the company store. They were unsuccessful because the company brought in replacement workers and armed guards to continue production. They even brought criminal charges on 30 of the strike leaders. Thomas has seen more than its fair share of rough times. In 1901, in less than 2 hours, nearly half of Thomas, 83 buildings, was destroyed by a fire. The city was rebuilt with fine hotels and the new Cottrell Opera House. In 1909, Front Street was laid with brick to become the first paved street in the county. Also built in 1901 after the fire was the grandest brick railway station between Cumberland, Maryland, and Elkins, West Virginia. It was destroyed by a tornado in 1944 when disaster struck this community yet again. This is interesting. See the concrete below? It's what's left of the engine and roundhouses for the railroad that serviced the mine. Although you can't really see it because of the weeds, I am now standing in front of the mine face to mine number 29. To continue with our story, On February 4, 1907, disaster struck the Davis Coal Company in the town of Thomas. It was around 7 in the morning, and the miners were changing shifts when an explosion killed 25 men in mine number 25. It was the first explosion in the history of the Davis Coal and Coke Company, and officials believe it was caused by a miner's lamp that was ignited by the mine gases. This is one of the few remaining coal company houses from the Davis Coal and Coke Company. As you know, there are many mine shafts underneath the town of Thomas. One Christmas holiday in the early 1900s, the local high school actually collapsed into one of the mine shafts. Thankfully, it was a holiday and no one was there to be hurt. Behind me are a few of the 1,000 coke ovens between Coketon, Thomas, and Douglas. In 1921, coke production ceased and mining operations slowed. By 1950, there were only 2 mines left in operation, and in 1956, all underground mining came to an end. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's starting to rain, and since I'm going to get wet anyway, I think I'll go down to the river for some kayaking. See you next time. The Davis Coal and Coke Company even hired to have in 1894, the town of Coketon. I messed up like that. This is one of the few remaining original coal company houses.